Radio check, Tom. Evo.
Alright, silver Ferrari. Check. Aircon. Check. Silver Ferrari.
Alright guys, we got a really cold track. Temps are in the low 30s on track, so we're going to start off nice and slow, build up, and then get a good one in, cool down, and then back in. Here we go. Alright, so I guess we'll leave one of those down. So as you enter the track, you're going to stay to the right side. As we come up this hill, you're going to look for these two lift cones on your right side. As we come up, you want to normally lift right here. You're then going to turn in. As you pass this apex cone on your left, you then want to brake. Straight line braking between these two. Then off the brake as you hold right, and then bring it back in left. You're going to touch in on your apex on the left side, and it's going to be one constant radius of your wheel all the way around this carousel, looking through the corner. And as you touch back in on the inside, you're going to roll back in your throttle. Exiting to your right, you'll be in the throttle as you come down the hill, exiting to your left before you then brake hard along this left side. It's a very, very late turn in here. As we touch in on the right, roll in your throttle as you come up over that little hump and stay to the left side. We're going to stay left looking for those lift cones. You want to lift, then begin your turn in. As you turn in, you're going to stay to this right side and go straight towards that turn in cone. On the brakes, we're then off the brake as we begin this turn. We're going to touch in on the left and track out right. Keep your wheel turned. It's going to carry you back to the left side before you then brake. Off the brakes as we come in right through the dip and outside left as we accelerate up the hill before we brake and turn in. You're going to then hold to the right side. Aim out towards that solar panel. As soon as you're square with it, you're then going to turn back in left side. You're going to roll down the hill as we begin rolling in the throttle, tracking out right and letting the car touch back in on this inside left. As we touch in left, we're then going to pass that apex cone. The car's going to naturally float out right. Keeping one angle of the wheel is going to then allow the car to carry back inside left, no movement of the wheel. As soon as I touch in left, I'm now smoothly transitioning to the right side, touching in on my apex right, and tracking out to my left. From here, I'm going to transition back to the right side of the track before I begin my braking zone down into the extremely slow turn one. From here, late turn in, all the way inside, roll in your throttle as we exit right side. As we come up this hill, you're going to be looking for those lift cones. You want to lift and then turn in. Do not brake while turning. Wait for this straight section before you then brake and then turn in right. Hold right, then hold left. One constant radius of the wheel all the way around. It's going to bring you from the inside, tracking out, and then the track's going to come right back towards you on your inside. You're going to start rolling in the throttle as we track out right. Carry it down the hill in the throttle all the way to the left side before we brake hard along this left edge. Off the brake, we're going to carry it back in right, tracking out left before we roll in our throttle up this left side of this hill. We want to lift, find our apex, turn through, straight down the hill as we brake. Off the brake, turn in.
What a beautiful track.
Oh yes, very, very nice track. As we come through, brake and turn in. All these hills get everybody feeling like they're on a roller coaster.
Cal's roller coaster.
As we turn through, aim for that solar panel. As soon as you're square with it, you're back in left. And we're going to roll in the throttle as we roll down the hill, tracking out wide right. And it's one constant radius of your wheel brings you inside. And you begin to track out wide right. One angle all the way through. Holding left as we touch in. Smooth transition back to your right and let the car track out wide left. We'll bring it back to our right side before we brake real hard for this slow, slow, slow turn one. Late turn in here. We then roll in the throttle, tracking out to your right side. We'll be in the throttle up the hill. lift at the top, turn through. Now begin your braking zone. Off the brakes, turn through, hold right, and in left.
Oh, that's smooth.
As we come through here, one constant radius of the wheel looking through the turn. As we touch inside left, we then roll back in our throttle right, tracking out wide left. As we come down the hill, we will brake hard. Off the brakes, bringing it in right, tracking out left. Be very careful not to accelerate too soon there, because there's a little hump, and as you come over there, it tends to kick the back end of the car out a little bit. So a brake, off the brake, high G-force left-hander, keep the wheel turned right before you crush that hill. You want to be on the brakes, and we'll track out wide left. Brake hard, off the brakes, holding right side. Aim for that solar panel before we're back in left. And then you roll in the throttle as we track out wide right. And we'll get ready here for an at-speed lap. You track in on your left, let the car track out wide right. All the way through one angle before we then transition back to our right and tracking out wide left. All the way back right before we brake hard. All the way down, very, very, very slow, turn one. Back inside, roll in the throttle as you bring it back right. We're gonna keep it to the right side. We normally lift right there, turn through, before we then straight line brake here, off the brakes, holding right, holding left. Nice and smooth through here, one angle, looking through the turn, before we then roll in the throttle. Tracking back out right, exiting left down the hill for a hard brake. Late turn in here, careful over the hump, not to accelerate too hard. And we'll bring it back to this left side. Up and over, bring it back in right, all the way down. You want to brake hard and in left. As we roll in the throttle, back to the left side, you want to brake and in right. As we transfer out to the left side, up the hill, brake hard, and back in right. Aim for that solar panel before we're back in left. And we roll in the throttle down the hill and track out wide right. Now as we begin this last lap here, we'll reiterate some of those key points of this track at a little slower speed after seeing it at speed. Remember here, very, very smooth transition. You're at a high speed going from a full load on the right side to a full load on the left. Do not jerk the wheel here. You're actually going to start your braking before you are all the way on the right side, but be sure you are hard on the brakes. Turn one is extremely slow. A lot of people tend to overcook this turn because of the downhill braking. You think you're going to be having a little bit more braking ability than you actually do. So careful there. You normally want to lift here, turn in, and then do your braking. We're then going to bring it back in right, back in left. As we come in, we're going to touch in. Remember, it's one constant radius all the way around right here. And as the track starts coming back into you, that's when you roll in your throttle, tracking out wide right. And then you want to touch back on this left side. As you come down this hill, you'll be hard on the brakes all the way down. Very, very late turn in. Turn your head first. Look through. There's a little hump here. And as you go over that hump, careful not to get on that gas too hard. And then keep it back to this left side. Up over the hill. We ask that you lift first, then turn in. This helps keep this turn nice and safe. And as we come down this hill, we'll be braking straight out wide right. Now, a lot of people turn in early here, so be careful not to do that. We'll then transfer back across the left side. Now, you can't see much yet, but just remember that that right-hand turn is next, and you want to start on the left side for a right-hand turn. We're going to stay to the left up this hill. We then brake, turn through, looking through this turn. I use this solar panel as a reference. That way I know where to turn, because you cannot see anything on where the track is actually going. So an off-track reference point is the best thing to use there. We track out right, and ideally it's one angle of your wheel all the way around. All right, all cars pit this lap. All cars, please pit this lap. Was that fun?
That's amazing. Big car experience at Atlanta Motorsports Park.
There you go.
Man, those discovery laps are worthwhile.
Oh yeah.
This track's so awesome, and you drive it so smooth.
Lots of laps here, and you just find that rhythm. It begins to feel almost like that roller coaster, up and down all the time, left and right. More elevation change here than any other track that we visit.
Thanks a lot, Cal.
You're welcome.
That was awesome.
And what car are you going to be driving with us?
GT3.
GT3, perfect car for this track. Highly recommend it. I'm glad you chose that one. And that way you can get out there and really feel that rear steer through that long sweeper. Have fun out there.
Thanks, Cal.